Hi, I'm Joan, Director of Education and Visitor Engagement at the Westmoreland Museum of American Art, and I'm here today to talk to you about a couple of portraits in the museum's collection. In fact, the couple we're talking about were a couple. We're going to look at the portraits of Catherine Woods and her husband Matthew Woods. These portraits were painted around 1858 by an unknown artist. Take a moment to look at all of the details in both portraits. We're going to look at them together. Notice the black clothing that they're wearing. Notice their hairstyles. Notice their facial expressions. What are some of the words that pop into your head when you look at this couple? How would you describe them? I think of them perhaps as quite a plain couple, perhaps a little serious. They're certainly no frills and no fancy couple. I attribute that to their black clothing, to the fact that there are no real ornaments on either of them, to the serious hairstyles, and of course perhaps to the very serious expressions, particularly on Catherine's face. Catherine and Matthew Woods were the grandparents of Mary Marchand Woods. Mary Marchand Woods is the woman who left her estate to the people of Westmoreland County to build a museum. We're going to take a moment to spend some more time looking at Matthew. We're going to try and guess what Matthew did for a living, and the artist provided a pretty big hint in here to help us figure that out. You might notice a small hand breaking through the frame of the portrait, and Matthew's holding that hand. Take a close look. Can you tell what Matthew's doing? That's right, he's taking a pulse. This is the artist's way of letting us know that Matthew was a doctor. Now you might ask, why didn't the artist use something else symbolic for a doctor? Everybody knows when you see somebody walking around with one of these around their neck, you're dealing with somebody who is a medical personnel of some kind. Well, in 1858, when this portrait was painted, stethoscopes didn't look like this. In fact, stethoscopes looked more like this. Now, why didn't he put one of those in the paintings? Well, ironically, stethoscopes that looked like this also looked very much like ear trumpets. An ear trumpet was a type of hearing aid that people used, holding it up against their ear to filter sound. So perhaps it would have been a little too confusing for people to realize they were looking at a doctor. They might have thought they were looking at somebody who was hard of hearing. Fun fact about the stethoscope that I discovered when I was doing some research for these portraits. The stethoscope was invented around 1816 by a French doctor in Paris who was a little, sheepish perhaps about putting his ear up against the chest of a rather large young woman. So instead, he rolled up a piece of paper and put that against her chest so that he could listen to her heartbeat. You have a perfect heartbeat. Well, that finishes my quick look at these portraits for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't mind a little sense of humor along with it. I would like to dedicate today's little tour to all of the doctors, nurses, and all of the medical staff out there who are working so hard at this time to take care of everybody, and particularly at a time that must be very, very difficult for them. Thank you for everything that you do. We appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking about some more art with you next week. Until then, bye.